We've had rounds of sleet, freezing rain, and snow over the past couple days. Are we going to get some more snow? We're going to look at that.
Plus, we'll have a look at road conditions across the area and how a retired firefighter is helping his fellow first responders during the winter weather.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
It's a mess out there. The snow accumulations vary across the area, and some of us could get more. Doug Heddy joins us with a first look at the weather.
Yeah, a pretty nasty night for us last night and then into the morning hours for us today, where we did get light to moderate, even heavy amounts of snow at times as this entire band has been working through the region. Lighter amounts in our western counties, and then the farther east you work, that's where the heaviest amounts were. But you can see all the snow. Last night we just had bands of moderate snow, and then the back edge kind of worked through during the morning hours. We've had light snow showers in our eastern counties throughout the day, and then you can see some more light snow which is popping up. This is actually the back wave which is going to work in. So you can see light snow showers increasing on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. This is not heavy snow. This is very light snow. But we are going to see these light snow showers spreading in, and we are going to get some very light accumulations with it as we go into the evening and the overnight hours. You can see the spotty light little snow showers working through. Heaviest will be along and south of Interstate 44, where we could get some minor accumulations. Plus, it's cold. We're going to break down the entire forecast for you, all coming up here in just a little bit.
See you then. Obviously, you should stay in if you can. The roads are treacherous in a lot of places. KOAM Shannon Becker has been checking on the conditions.
Thanks, guys. The weather today, it's something we haven't seen in a long time. This much snow, and on the roads, it's really slowed people down. We're at Joplin's busiest intersection right here at 7th and Range Line at the KOAM Joplin Studios. And the main roads are pretty clear. Interstate, even earlier in the day, you go a pretty decent speed. Joplin police say they responded to 30 people stuck. The most dangerous place you might get stuck is pulling into a driveway, maybe your own driveway, where there are piles of snow along the roadway. There were some big trucks that had some big problems on the highway. Apple Road, a semi-tractor trailer on its side. I know in Crawford County, near the Bourbon County line, a tractor trailer rolled a couple of hours ago, and those take it a while to set back upright. We'll keep our eye on the roads for you. I'm Shannon Becker for KOAM News Now.
Baxter Springs ambulance got stuck responding to a call today. No one was hurt, and a second ambulance crew responded to the initial call. Cherokee County EMS posted photos on Facebook and thanked everyone who checked on the crew and helped. EMS says if these very heavy vehicles can become incapacitated, then lighter vehicles with lower ground clearance do not stand a chance. A former first responder is helping area hospital, EMS, and other emergency workers get home safely. Before moving to this area, Kyle Kugler was a volunteer firefighter in Virginia. He says he loved playing a key part in helping the community, and now in Joplin, he's doing that in another way by giving first responders a free ride home amid this winter weather.
I've had some people call about getting picked up from the hospital for their evening shifts and making sure they can get home if they feel like they can't get home at all. And I've had some people just call and just check in and say thank you so much for what you're doing and everything. And it's been a real blessing to try and be able to help out.
Says he didn't do this for attention. He just felt it was important to give first responders this option to get them home safely. And we are not alone. This massive winter storm is spreading misery all the way from the southwest to the northeast, with more than 100 million people across at least 25 states under winter weather alerts. More than 200,000 people have lost power because of freezing temperatures. Chris Van Cleve reports from Dallas, Texas.
The winter storm moving across much of the country brought snow, sleet, and power outages from Dallas to Little Rock.
We are dealing with one of the most significant icing events that we've had in the state of Texas in at least several decades.
Ice accumulations left thousands of customers in the dark in Texas after downed tree limbs took out power lines.
Deja vu, right? Last year, same thing. So we were worried that it wasn't going to come back on.
Utility crews in North Texas were called to this scene when a driver lost control and slammed into a pole.
We brought one of our spare trucks from out of the yard, put it on it to keep it up and controlled so it won't fall over.
As the storm moves through, repair crews are out in force despite frozen roads and frigid temperatures. Still, the biggest test for the power grid is yet to come. State leaders expect Friday morning to see the biggest demand possibly ever for power in Texas. That's because temperatures are going even lower with wind chill. It could feel like it's -6.
There is plenty of power available at this time, as well as plenty of power expected over the remainder of today and early tomorrow.
The brutal winter storm is also pummeling the Midwest. Parts of Illinois and Indiana are expecting the most snow, up to 18 inches. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Dallas.
More than 4,000 flights have been canceled in and out of the U.S. today because of the weather. Of course, you can stay up to date with all the information for this area online and on your phone. Just go to KOAMnewsnow.com or download the KOAM News app and the Skywatch weather app. It's all free. You can find the apps in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Police in Independence, Kansas are looking for suspects they say threw a homemade chemical bomb out of a vehicle. Happened on Monday, shortly after noon. Officers responded to the 1000 block of West Oak for a reported explosion. Witnesses say a vehicle with 2 people inside drove by, threw a bottle out, and the bottle, filled with household chemicals, exploded. No injuries were reported. Authorities say to stay away from any suspected bottle bombs and call the police immediately. The White House says the leader of ISIS is dead after an overnight raid by U.S. forces in Syria. The ISIS leader, commonly known as Haji Abdullah, was in a home near the Turkish border where U.S. forces landed helicopters and exchanged gunfire with people inside. President Biden says the ISIS leader then chose to blow up the 3rd floor of the building, killing himself and several family members. The operation came as ISIS was launching a resurgence, including an attack on a prison camp last month. Still ahead, a look at how scammers are taking advantage of people on social media. And next in Health Watch, we'll learn about one of the few women of color running a hospital in the U.S. and how she's blazing a trail for others. Topping today's Health Watch, researchers project opioids could kill more than 1.2 million people in the U.S. this decade if no action is taken to address the epidemic. The new Stanford Lancet report makes several recommendations, including tighter regulations on the pharmaceutical industry and an end to incarcerations for those with addiction issues. Women of color account for a mere 5% of healthcare leadership positions in the U.S., according to a recent analysis. And healthcare inequalities along racial lines have really been exposed during the pandemic, demonstrating why representation is so important. Reporter Natalie Brand introduces us to one of the few black women running a hospital, who's also paving the way for others to follow.
So I say the more work we can do in the community, the less work that we'll be bringing up here to you.
Deneen Richmond leads her hospital with community and compassion in mind, an approach shaped by obstacles she faced as young as grade school.
We basically felt unwanted here. Our buses would pull up and there would be parents of kids throwing things at the bus, yelling nasty things as we're getting off the bus.
She remembers experiencing racism for the first time, just trying to get to her new integrated school.
No kid should have to go through that, not because of anything that you've done, but just because of the color of your skin.
Nearly 50 years later, about a mile from that same school, Richmond is now the president of Luminous Health Doctors Community Medical Center in Maryland. She's one of the few women of color in a healthcare leadership role.
Why do you think that is?
It's just, the same thing we're seeing in our communities. There's still bias, there's still racism, and so I think that impacts women of color and our ability to be recognized for the talents and strengths that we bring to the table. Good morning, everybody.
Now at the head of the table, Richmond is working to make her hospital more inclusive for patients and staff.
When you feel like someone looks like you, it makes a difference. I wanted the two of us to sit down for a little while.
She's also on a mission to pay it forward, returning to her old schools.
I would love an opportunity to just speak to the students.
To share her story about starting out as a registered nurse and working her way up.
We have to start as soon as elementary school. Girls need to know that STEM careers are sexy and fun.
Richmond hopes a new generation will continue to expand diversity in medicine and break down inequities in health care. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Prince George's County, Maryland.
Richmond's overseeing building a behavioral health center to serve residents with mental health and substance abuse needs. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the CDC warns of a listeria outbreak tied to a popular salad brand.
Plus a little bit more light snow rolling in for us tonight. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it's been a wild couple days weather-wise with freezing rain, sleet, rain, snow across the region. We have had a couple batches over the past couple days. Officially today, 6 inches of snow with this last batch that has rolled through. So the total from the storm system has been 7 inches when you add yesterday and today. But today, officially 6 inches. Of course, you can't go outside. You can't measure it because it's been blowing and drifting. So we actually have to take the radar estimated amounts and then do the wonderful liquid to snow ratio, do the mathematical equations. We get 6 inches. For the season, 11.5, average is 12. So we're almost right at our average. I forecasted 13 for the season, which will probably get well above that. Last year, we were sitting at 19.5. All right, snowfall. The past 48 hours, heaviest on the Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma side, 7 to 9 inches. Some isolated 10-inch amounts once you get in our very far southeastern counties. And then from Bartlesville up through southeastern Kansas and then Fort Scott, 5 to 7. Lightest amounts out in our northwestern counties, only about 3 to 4 inches, and then even lighter once you get up to the north near Kansas City. All right, so we've had this big band of moderate to heavy snow last night. The backside rolled through during the morning hours. It continued to snow in our far eastern counties until about mid to late morning, and then everything has pretty much cut off. But over the past couple hours, the main upper level wave is kind of rotating in. So you can see some light little snow showers that are popping up from Chanute, Parsons, Columbus, down toward Miami, Grove, and then a little bit of a break, and then it picks up again just west of the four-state area. So these light snow showers are going to rotate in as we go through the overnight hours tonight. They're going to be mainly concentrated along and south of I-44, but it could give us some light accumulations across the region as the back wave of this storm system rotates through. But look at all the snow that rolled through last night all the way up through the Great Lakes, thankfully heading away from us. Now we have to deal with the cold temperatures, light snow showers for us tonight. So here's 8:30. As we go through the overnight hours, you can see the concentration is mainly along and south of I-44. And then it rotates through, so by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, most of these are gone, and then our temperatures really drop as we go into the overnight hours tonight. So if we get some accumulations, I think they're going to be light. Let's say Pittsburgh south, a dusting, maybe upwards to 1/2 inch, or southern counties, 1/2 inch to 1 inch, which again could cause some issues on some of the roadways. So be careful if you are going out tonight into tomorrow, because we already have bad roads. Temperatures sitting into the mid-teens right now. We have these northerly winds, which is, of course, making it feel colder than what it actually is. Our wind chill factors right now about 1 to 3 degrees. Actual temperatures drop back through the teens. And then once we get rid of this storm system, you can see not too much is going on out to the west, which is good news. We're going to calm down a bit as we go through the next few days. However, for us, as we head into the morning hours tomorrow, we have some clouds. We do get some sunshine by the afternoon, which is great news, but our temperatures are still going to be cold starting at 6:22 by noon, then a high temp right around 27 degrees. We get above freezing by Saturday, 36, 40 by Sunday. But overall, this snow is going to be sticking around for several days.
Yeah, even without the accumulation, these roads are going to be nasty for a while.
Yeah, they really will be.
Thanks, Doug. Some four-staters took advantage of the snow and their days off from school to have a little fun. We found some college students and younger kids sledding into area parks. This is at the Praying Hands in Webb City. The sledders there aren't letting the cold stop them.
Sweats, 2 pairs of socks, t-shirt, Snow, gloves, and a sock hat and a name.
It's all about the layers. For the latest on school and business closings, head on over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Coming up, how to protect yourself from scams on social media. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Howard Smith served in the U.S. Army from 1953 to 1955. The liberal Missouri native was stationed in Korea, and we salute Corporal Howard Smith, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the CDC releases an update about a listeria outbreak tied to Dole salads. The agency says at least 2 people died, 17 others were sickened. The packaged salads were produced by Dole and sold under 11 brand names. The affected products included mixed greens, garden salads, and Caesar kits. Young adults on social media are increasingly becoming the targets of hackers. According to federal data, cryptocurrency scams have skyrocketed during the pandemic. But as Laura Podesta reports, there are steps you can take to protect yourself.
24-year-old Mary Peplin says she thought she was messaging a friend from high school on Instagram. She shared her phone number and clicked on a link, but she says it turned out to be a scam.
I started getting messages and phone calls from friends and family asking me, "Hey Mary, are you on your Instagram right now?" asking me for money. I think I had a panic attack. I was mortified. I was crying, I was upset, I did not know what to do.
Cryptocurrency scams have skyrocketed during the pandemic. The Federal Trade Commission estimates that since October 2020, people ages 20 to 49 were 5 times more likely to lose money in these online investment scams.
You want to trust your gut. If you have a bad feeling about someone you're talking to on the internet, you want to listen to those instincts.
Consumer Reports technology writer Thomas Germain says other steps you can take include not responding if it's someone you don't know. Check before you click on a link and limit Venmo or Cash App payments to friends only. Peplin called her experience traumatizing.
I was being treated differently by my peers because they thought, I'm either a scammer or I was dumb enough to get hacked.
She wants Instagram to do more to protect users like her. Instagram provided a statement that reads in part, "We have sophisticated measures in place to stop bad actors in their tracks before they gain access to accounts, as well as measures to help people recover their accounts." The statement went on to say, "We know we can do more here, and we're working hard in both these areas to stop bad actors before they cause harm." Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Tech experts also suggest using 2-factor authentication to access your accounts, and this is hard, but don't reuse passwords. The EPA wants the U.S. Postal Service to go green when it replaces its aging vehicle fleet. The current plan would replace 10% of its total fleet with electric vehicles. The other 90% would be replaced with gas-powered trucks. The EPA Associate Administrator criticized the plan in a letter as inconsistent with clean energy policies at state, federal, and international levels. Postal Service cited the high costs of electric vehicles as its reason for choosing gas-powered vehicles. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, more details about that U.S. military raid that led to the death of the ISIS leader. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have an updated look at area road conditions, plus more on the former firefighter offering free rides to first responders in the area working through the winter storm. And we're going to hear from the Fort Scott High School girls basketball team, now ranked in the top 10 in the state. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News. And then KOAM News at 6. Can't say it enough. If you don't have to be out tonight, please do not go out. Stay in.
Yeah, the roads are pretty nasty, and we are going to get another little batch of light snow this evening into the overnight hours. Half an inch, upwards to an inch, maybe even 2 inches in our southern counties. So that's just going to make the roads a little bit worse. So stay inside. It's cold. We drop back into the single digits tonight. 27 tomorrow. We do get some sunshine by the afternoon and finally above freezing by Saturday.
That'll be welcome when it gets here. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.